Happy Banty, whatever day it is. Halo, listen, the people, the people are gonna love what's coming.
The people have no idea what's coming. The people are going to absolutely love what's about to happen. This is I feel like maybe I say this too much, but this is one of my favorite interviews that we've done. Um, so much wisdom from such a young star that has absolutely taken college softball by storm. And Sam, like if we could just think about it for a moment, she is this good her freshman year. How good is she going to be 3.5 years from now? Scary
Scary.
good.
Scary. Yeah. And also, so chill. What a cool girl.
You're going to get to learn so much about her, what her hobbies are, what her mental approach is in the box, which Sam and I both agree that we wish we would have had this knowledge when we were still hitters
Would have been nice.
back in our previous lives. It would have been really nice. But ladies and gentlemen, all friends of the program, welcome Taylor Shoemaker to Base
How
Hits and
fun.
Banter.
Woo! Okay, bye. Okay, you guys, Banshees, welcome to another fantastic episode. I'm a little giddy, if you can't tell, but we have an amazing guest today. I'm going to give you just a little bio, just a little intro so we know who we're dealing with. She's a freshman at the University of Florida from Fullerton, California, went to Esperanza High School. In high school, just was all over the place, two-time All-CIF player, three-time All-State, a state champion in 2021 for the state of California. She's been NFCA Player of the Week and SEC Freshman of the Week this season, and sorry, hold on, I get myself prepared. Batting 370 with 14 home runs, 14 doubles, 61 RBI, a 767 slug with 17 stolen bases. So like it's actually crazy. And the 61 RBI is most in program history by a freshman. Taylor Shoemaker, welcome to the podcast.
Hello, thank you for having me.
So excited. We've been talking about you all season long on this pod. If you're not familiar with it, welcome to our world. We talk about college softball as much as we possibly can, and as much as they'll let us. And you have taken college softball by storm. I just like want to know more about how you've just I just usually there's a transition, right? People eventually learn how to dominate, but you came in, you're like, I actually, there's not a break-in period. So can you tell us a little bit about the season that you're having?
I mean, I've honestly just am trying to just take it all in step by step. A lot of people have asked me about like expectations and how I'm dealing with stuff like that. And honestly, having teammates who are as experienced as the teammates that I have really just made it a lot easier for me. And to be able to lean into them and kind of learn as I go, but also be able to have so much fun while I'm doing it, and to have coaches that are experienced as they are, and just to have people around me who are just supporting me in every wave of this race that I'm going through has just been really super helpful and has just made it a lot easier and a lot more fun.
I love that. You're so fun to watch. I love watching all of your at bats. I feel like you have a very mature approach at the plate. Can you just talk about like when you're in the I think a lot of freshmen will get intimidated when they're going facing college pitching for the first time. You didn't seem to feel that way at all. What's your overall mental approach and mindset in the box?
I definitely have had a lot of conversations about mental approach in the box, especially now that a lot more coaches have seen a lot more of what I do and what maybe I don't do, and they're trying to find ways to beat me, and I think it's getting a lot more prevalent now that they can find ways to do that. And I think having my coaches around me to be able to talk me kind of through not only introducing film into everything and being able just to kind of learn the ebb and flow of college softball. At first, I think I was a little overwhelmed with figuring out just watching pitchers film, figuring out what they throw, and then trying to get kind of to the point of where I can kind of get as much knowledge as I need, but not overwhelm myself. I think once we kind of found a happy medium between that, that it kind of just made my at bats to a point where I wasn't overthinking them, but I got to go into the box knowing that I was prepared. And just like I said before, having teammates like Kendra Falby and Jocelyn Erickson and Reagan Walsh, Corby Otis, like having such amazing hitters around me, and to be able to hear what conversations they're having kind of gives me more of a positive mindset to go in there and just kind of want to do my job for them.
Oh, that's awesome. It sounds like you're just kind of soaking it all up. On it, like even just watching you play and then listening to you for the, short 3.5 minutes that we've been talking, it seems like a whole entire college experience has already happened just in your short time being a freshman. So I'd love to know what led you to Florida. Like, was it always the school that you wanted to go to? How did you get to this point? And then now that you're here and you're in your first year and things are going the way that they are, has it kind of been bigger than you expected? I know you talked earlier about expectations and stuff, but just like what you envisioned when you committed and then to now.
So when I first was thinking about the recruitment process, I had never really had like a dream school. I had always grown up watching softball with my dad, and I had always known that I wanted to play college softball, but I think I kind of never wanted to give myself one school because I knew that maybe something wouldn't work out, or maybe I wouldn't end up liking the place that I thought I was going to go to. So when I figured out that I was going to go on my visits, I knew that I wanted to. Most of the schools that I talked to were close to home. So a lot of them were in the pack. So a lot of them were right near home. So that way my parents could come watch me. So that way it wouldn't be that far if I had to go home for something. But I have always been a very competitive individual. I really like competition, whether it's trying to beat the last grade that I got on a test or trying to get better at something all the time. So when I had realized that I was starting to get reached out to by SEC schools, I was both a little nervous because I knew how far away from home it would be. A lot of people thought I was crazy when I told them that I was going all the way out to Florida to take a visit, but I knew that I was kind of going to just keep my options open and make sure that I was giving myself equal opportunity to visit everywhere. When I came on my visit to Florida, I know it sounds cliche, but everybody tells you it'll feel like home, but it truly did. I knew that the facilities were amazing. The people that I had around me were going to support me in every wave, and to have not only academic support but also athletic support, and they have outlets for mental support, and just to be able to come to a place and just have every aspect of my being that can be supported, and to make sure that I'm becoming not only a better athlete but also a better student, human being, giving myself opportunities after college was really cool. And I honestly think I could not have picked a better university for myself.
The pipeline to the women's national team.
HPP has helped me find a new identity in like who I am as a player. It's helped show how hard work pays off, and it's really got me excited for the future of our game, the future for me, the future for my fellow athletes, and for what I strive to do in the future in college and then potentially with USA softball in the future.
Awesome. And I feel you go, Halo. I was gonna say cliches are a cliche for a reason because they're real.
You, yeah, you took my
I knew
point.
you were
Like
saying
it's a very real thing. Like I remember thinking the same thing when I walked on campus at Alabama, and you had the same feeling too, Sam. Like when you know, and it's a beautiful match. I think clearly you fit in extremely well because I think, and Sam would agree with this too. Like happy softball players make really great softball players, which is what you are and what you're becoming. I'm curious now that we're kind of like in the nitty gritty of SEC play. Like, what has stood out to you from preseason Florida, like all of those, pre-conference tournaments, to now playing these really tough 3-game series week in and week out in the SEC?
Um, I think I knew that coming into the SEC it was going to be a grind. I know that this no team is perfect, and to be able to see so many people around me just want it brings out like a competitor that you've never seen before. Like preseason, you're kind of learning to play with each other. You're learning the nitty-gritty of who does what and what people work best in what situations, and trying to not only build the chemistry of the team, but also make sure that you're lifting each other up. And once we've gotten to SEC play and you kind of have all the little things down, like outside of the field, I think being able to spend so much time together and being able to be around each other all the time, it kind of makes softball feel like a game again. Like it doesn't feel like you're trying to, oh crap, we got to win this game this next week. Oh my gosh, we have to do this, or else we won't be able to make it to this part of the season. Or I think it just kind of becomes another game. It's just another set of a day that you and your teammates have to go through and win together. So I honestly think SEC play is so much fun no matter how hard it gets. And to be able to spend time with my teammates every day and get to play the sport that I love is, I don't think, win or lose, I don't think there's a day that can get any better.
Hmm. Oh, I love to hear that.
Mic drop. That's amazing. I love that. I love that.
It's so good too, because I think something that you mentioned earlier about being a competitor and just being competitive kind of about everything. I love that you brought up grades. I think that that was a really cool one where it's like, well, I got a 91 on this last test. I got to get a 92 on the next one, you know, that kind of thing. But something that is really interesting about being super competitive is that like you said, you're facing the best, like everything's a challenge, but the competitor rises to the challenge. They don't back away from it. So, kind of to Halo's point, did you feel like you had a good understanding of what that competitiveness within you was capable of, or has it been a surprise, or just kind of these challenges that you're talking about? Did you feel like you were ready for them?
I feel like my travel ball coach, Mike, did a really good job of helping me prepare myself for them. I knew that there were pieces of it that I wasn't going to understand yet until I was in the moment. Like there are parts where obviously once you get, right now I'm at a point of season where I'm really just trying to understand playing so much softball in a row, and it's getting to the point where now I even feel like I'm getting a little bit more flustered and a little bit more overwhelmed than I was before.
Mm.
But I feel like being able to have those conversations with my coaches and with my teammates and kind of using that to understand who I am as a competitor and who I am as an athlete is just going to end up making me better at the end of the day. Though they are very frustrating when it comes time where things just aren't going my way. I think failure kind of brings out something else and makes me a better competitor, just because I start to understand myself a little bit deeper and start to understand just like pieces that maybe I thought I was strong in this area. And then all of a sudden I realize, okay, maybe I'm not. Maybe that's a part of me that I have to make better. And I think my mental game, and not a lot of people talk about it and not a lot of people understand, but I think my mental game is part that I thought I had down really, really well, but I'm finding little bits and pieces and holes and gaps in places that I thought were really strong. And maybe now I need to start having those harder conversations and kind of make those parts a little stronger to make myself better.
Oh,
How old are you?
I'm 19.
Yeah. What?
older than
I
us.
I don't know if I've ever heard that articulated so well, but that is such an amazing perspective.
Thank you.
I'm writing that down right now. That was
100%.
amazing. Every
Thank you.
young softball player needs to hear that. That's incredible.
Oh, I like, I'm chatty and I feel a little speechless right now because that
I
was
feel,
so
yeah, I also feel
good.
speechless.
Because we
That's
talk so
amazing.
much about this is a game of failure, and that's kind of the end of the sentence, right? It's like it's game of failure. But like there's a whole other paragraph after that. What do you do with the failure? How do you come back from the failure? How do you fail? You know, like there's so much that goes into it. And you just said it so perfectly where it's like it's kind of an opportunity to get better. Even though it is frustrating. I
Mhm.
love the acknowledgement of it being two things. It's like I can learn from this and I can get better, but I'm also like kind of mad. Like so I think oh gosh, that's
And
amazing.
that's also a healthy mindset to have too. Like it's okay to be mad and frustrated, but it's also seeing it as that opportunity because you've got,
Yes.
I mean, an incredible 4 years ahead of you, which is like just wild to think about because you're already so good now. Like I can't even imagine how good you're going to be by the time your senior year rolls around. And maybe you can come play pro softball with some cool people that we know. But I'm curious. I would love to know, just from your perspective, being kind of new to this college softball thing, hardest pitcher you've faced
Oh.
to date, and your favorite stadium that you've played in that's not KSP
Hmm.
so far.
Um, hardest pitcher. Honestly, I feel like I've seen a lot of them. There are a lot that have just, I mean, Tegan Kavan, obviously, very good pitcher,
Mm.
made me struggle. I I
She's
think
good.
I think when coming into college softball, I was like, okay, every pitcher I see, I'm probably gonna have a really hard time with. I was like, I'm gonna struggle. And then it's like, okay, I'm figuring this out. And then all of a sudden you get a pitcher like her and it's like, okay, maybe I need a little bit
This
more
moves a
time.
lot. This moves a lot more than I originally thought. Her ball moves so much. Even
Okay,
just watching it
I
on
didn't
film,
know a
it's
ball could
crazy.
move like that, but that's fine. That's fine. We'll figure it out.
Opportunity.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I thought the Texas pitchers gave me a lot of trouble. Honestly, I think every single pitcher I've faced, they all have something special where it's like, whoa, what was that? I've never seen that before. It, and sometimes I go into the dugout and I'm like, they're like, oh, like this pitcher's not throwing that hard, and I go out there and I'm like, she's throwing pretty hard to me. I don't know what you're talking about. I thought she was throwing pretty hard, but maybe not.
That's what. So what's your mindset? What's your mindset then? If you like, are you someone that do you like try to make big adjustments? Or are you like a small adjuster from at bat to at bat when you see a pitcher like that and it's like, oh, this isn't what I thought it was? Like, what's your mental process going into your next at bat off of that same pitcher?
Um, I don't like to make a lot of adjustments, or a lot of big adjustments. I like to keep things really, really simple because I have learned about myself more that I've been in college that not that I get overwhelmed by big adjustments, but just to understand that maybe the swing was right, but maybe the pitch selection wasn't, or maybe the pitch selection was right, but I just got the wrong part of the ball. But I mean, my coaches have done a really good job of just allowing me to understand that maybe it's not this swing was bad. Like maybe it was something else that just needed a little bit better of a adjustment. So I've been trying to make just smaller adjustments and learn to understand my swing a little bit better, like understanding, okay, maybe the ball is a little bit higher than I think. Maybe the ball is a little bit lower than I thought. This pitch I feel like is a ball, but it's a strike, so I need to swing at it. Or maybe this pitch I think it's a strike, but it's a ball and I need to stop swinging at it. But I mean, I don't like making really big adjustments just because I think it does overwhelm me a little bit, but just to kind of go up there and feel prepared and feel like I'm in a good position kind of makes the at-bats a little bit simpler, I think.
God, I wish we'd have had this conversation while we were
You're
still.
amazing.
I wish while we were still players, Halo. I would have loved to, because now I'm all fired up to go hit, and
Honestly.
we don't hit anymore.
Yeah, no, we don't hit anymore. But now this makes me want to hit. Now I have great advice, and I can go make myself a better hitter by following that.
At this time, we would like to thank the USA Softball Store at usasoftballstore.com for our amazing gear this week. You guys can have the exact same gear that Samu and I have literally right now if you go to usasoftballstore.com. So go literally right now, and you can use code BHB15 right now and get 15% off your entire purchase. So buy a lot of stuff, get that 15%, let it all go to use. usasoftballstore.com. Again, that code is BHB15.
It's so good because I think so many times young players especially go right to something was wrong with my swing. But there's so many other factors where it's like maybe my timing was off, maybe it was a ball, maybe like all these other things. It's like my swing is gravy. Like it's just other factors. So then you try to make this big adjustment, and then you're almost in a bigger hole because you're like,
Yeah.
oh my God, I just think that that's so important and so awesome to have as part of your game at such a young age is like, yeah, no, actually like my swing's good on this one. I just went for the wrong thing. But I would love to know a little more about you just like off the field. Like what do you do for fun? Like what makes you happy? And the answer also could be softball. I don't want you to like avoid like, but is there other stuff that like makes you tick?
So I am a very creative individual. I like to draw and color, and during the beginning of season, coloring books kind of were chilling me out when I would feel really, really overwhelmed. So I would take time at night and just do some coloring books to kind of chill myself out. I am the team nail tech, so I do a lot of the girls' nails. I do my own nails. I actually just did Brooke Bernard's nails earlier today, but I going to the nail salon just kind of stresses me out, and I always wanted designs that they could never do, or I thought I could do better. And playing softball, they would always chip, and then I'd be like, well, now I have to go back because I'm a nail biter, so I can't have them not painted because then I'll just break them all. So I took up doing nails probably in like 2020 when COVID came around, and then I stopped. And then I started doing them again right before I came to college. And then it was a whole ordeal getting all my nail stuff here. And doing nails is a lot of fun because I like being able to spend time with my teammates while I do them, but then also getting to do something fun. But that's definitely one of my
Okay,
favorites.
when you guys make it to Oklahoma City, Sam and I are gonna be there.
We're
And you're
getting nails
gonna
done.
we're gonna be right here.
Getting them done.
Help.
Yep. Please. Oh, cute. Yeah.
So cute.
I love the
What?
designs. I'm really a sucker for them. We're
Thank
gonna,
you.
yeah, we're gonna make an appointment.
Wait, okay, so have you decided on what your major is yet? No, I don't want to overwhelm you. Sorry.
I know I've done.
But like your creativity is just like we just don't hear that very often. Like most people will say, well, sport management or
Yeah.
exercise science. I say that as an exercise science major that's not even using her degree anymore. Like, what do you have any idea what you want to do?
I've been looking at journalism for a while,
Cool.
like doing something because I love to write. Writing is probably English is probably my favorite subject. But also I've been doing a lot of classes to do with Photoshop, and a lot of stuff in advertising seems really interesting.
Wow.
I'm in an
Fun.
advertising class right now that I've been doing like ads and a lot of cool stuff for. So I think stuff like that's really fun, but I have not like guaranteed a major yet.
Wow.
You have time.
You could change it 6 more times. Like,
You could, honestly.
oh my gosh.
And then you could graduate and not even use it. Like what I'm doing. So
It happens. It happens. Gosh, this has been so much fun. I like want to talk forever. I'm just like, obviously you're in school and you got games to focus on and stuff, but how do you feel like you spend your off time if it's not doing nails? Like, do you have like a structure that you do with like, because I remember when I was in college, I literally was in my practice clothes all day long. I was in class. I like had a visor on. I didn't know what being an adult was like in college. But now I feel like there's so much more structure to you guys with like, oh, I grab a coffee in the morning. Like, I don't remember drinking. Halo, did you drink coffee in college? I didn't know about coffee until I was
I
like
didn't.
27. So like,
No, I didn't know.
you guys are like little
I had
grown-ups.
I had Mountain Dews.
Yeah, oh, obviously. Yeah, I could put Mountain Dew in a coffee cup.
This was also pre like nutrition programs
Yeah.
for
It was.
softball as well. So we were
It
just like
was.
flying by the seat of our pants, and we were very broke. So it was like
Yeah.
Mountain Dew from Circle K was my pregame ritual. Anywho,
I just like want to know like a day in the life. You know what I mean? Just what does it look like? Because I'm just so fascinated because I feel like it's so different from when Halo and I were in college. So take us through a day.
Like a day where we have stuff or like an off day?
You pick a day that you like really enjoy.
So obviously off days are like your days to catch up on just life. So today, Mondays are usually our off days. So today I woke up at like 9 o'clock because I am not an early bird at all. And then usually I'll have physical therapy in the morning. And then normally after physical therapy, we usually get to go to the field and do like treatments and stuff, which normally on physical therapy days I don't have to go. But today I didn't have physical therapy, so I went. And then normally after that, I'll normally get my laundry done and then come home and put it all away. And then I spend a lot of time with my roommate Kylie. So normally we always find like going to dinner, or we've grown fond of going out on our couch in our living room, which is like the only time we use our living room. And we sit out there and usually start like a show, or like we've been watching crime documentaries, and
nice.
or we'll find a movie, or
Yes.
like just kind of finding time to hang out with each other outside of the softball field because we spend so much time there. But like getting to find time to hang out with our teammates like without having to be at the softball field is a lot of fun. Like tonight we have a little Gator Gala thing later tonight, but we're gonna go to dinner for one of our teammates' birthdays right before all together.
Fun. Halo,
So
that sounds like a
nice.
day like that we would have. Like a
Yeah,
fun day.
that's amazing.
We're
Yeah.
inviting ourselves to hang out with you if you're not picking up what I'm putting
Yeah,
down.
we are.
Of course.
But
So,
it's like
of course.
just so we're clear.
it's cool you bring that up because I think that's what a lot of people don't quite understand about like the college softball season, the college softball teams, is like you guys are really normal humans, kind of outside what you're doing on the field, and sometimes you just want to go to dinner with your gal pals, and that's all you need. You know what I mean? Like that's
Yeah.
awesome.
Oh, Halo, you want
That's awesome.
to do your thing?
Yeah, as so Taylor, as we've had a ton of guests on here, I like to ask everybody the same question to close out the show. And I think you're our youngest guest, one of our youngest guests that
Yeah.
we've had on. So I'm very curious to hear your answer to this. But if you could give any advice to your younger self, what would it be and why?
I think allowing my younger self to understand that I'm a perfectionist. I want like all A's. I want things to look the way I want them to. I'm a control freak, so I like things to be done. Like if things are gonna get done for me, they're gonna get done my way, and I like things to be done a certain way. But
Period.
I think kind of allowing my younger self to understand that things aren't gonna go perfectly all the time, and that maybe there's not a perfect way to do it, but there's a certain way that it should get done.
Mm.
But just kind of allowing myself to understand that even if I'm not perfect, if I don't go a perfect 4 for 4, or if I don't get an A plus on a test, or maybe if like people don't like the way that I do things, or they're not a fan of me, that it'll all be okay. I think I learned from a young age that finding a good group of people around me made my life a lot easier, and not trying to please other people also made my life a lot easier. So just letting my younger self understand that perfection's not attainable, and getting a good group of people around you has gotten me to a pretty good place of where I'm at. So being able to just understand those things has made my life really good where it is.
Wow. Really
Wow.
good.
You are wise beyond your years. Thank you so much for coming on and sharing some of that wisdom with us.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for having me.
Oh, we've been looking forward to this for months. So
Correct.
thank you. Yeah. And good luck the rest of the way. We know Halo and I are planning a trip to OKC, so we will literally plan on seeing you there. And maybe
Thank you
it'll
very
be time
much.
for a fill. I'm just saying, like, if you bring your kit,
Well,
we'll be
I'll
ready.
make sure my stuff is with me.
We'll be ready.
Say less.
Oh my gosh. All right. Thank you, Taylor.
Thank you
Bantu,
very much. I
enjoy.
appreciate you guys.
At Higginbotham, we put people first. Our specialists are here to serve you, the people you care about, and your success. Insurance, HR, and financial services. Inspired by you.